Hello, everyone. Just waiting for a couple of more seconds before we start. We wait 30 more seconds for the live viewers to join the stream. All right, we will start. So the main goal of this meetup or seminar is to explain you how Mars Micro Apps work and how it can be useful for you, both as a user and more importantly, as a micro app builder, where this can become a new stream of revenue for you. First, we will quickly recap what MarsX is. And MarsX is a place where projects could reuse a lot of the micro apps. Why is that important? Because average project consists of 30 features, where 25 of the 30 features people could just borrow from somewhere else, but they have to build it from scratch. So Mars is solving this problem by letting developers reuse existing micro apps from the gallery and build the remaining on their own. That saves them a lot of time, up to 90%. That's what MarsX is. We have a concept of micro apps, and we have three types. One type is the macro app. And the macro app is an app which is similar to Uber, Airbnb, Instagram. So it's pretty much the full-fledged app that users could just take and use it. The examples are the photo sharing app, the video streaming app, the social network. There are often cases when a startup need just the same as something that exists on the market, but with their own touch and for their own niche. For example, an Uber for a specific country or a city, etc. So we have a concept of micro apps that these customers can pay for. So one way for you to build micro apps on the Mars platform is to actually build the macro apps. That takes more time, but brings more profits. So the second type is the micro app, and the micro app is similar to a modular house. Imagine you're building a house, and the house consists of a wall, a roof, a window, and a door, etc. So the micro app represents the door and the window and the chair and the roof in this particular example. So the examples of micro apps could be a live chat, music player, video player, website header, fancy dropdown, and list goes on. The micro apps take less time to build. We expect it to take up to a month and a minimum of a day. So from 1 to 30 days, you can build a micro app. And I will share the details on the monetization and business model later in this talk. And we have nano apps, and nano apps are the smallest building blocks. It's similar to Lego, where the blocks are really small and people can build anything big out of it. So the examples of nano apps are the button, the card, the table, the tabs, the icon, and the list goes on to thousands of other items. So these are the easiest to build, and it's the best way probably to start. But the interesting thing here is that while building a micro app, you're actually building a lot of micro apps and nano apps as a result. So for example, if you're building an Instagram micro app, while doing that, you will have to split that work into different pieces where you will have to build micro apps and you would have to build nano apps. And the cool thing here is that you can push to the marketplace all of it, not just the Instagram as micro app, but all of its nano and micro apps as well as separate items on the marketplace. That means that you can have a lot of items on the marketplace and have more options to monetize it. So who uses the micro apps? The micro apps are used by the users of Mars. So it can be a corporate customers, it can be startup founders, and it can be developers like you. When you're building a micro app, for example, you're building an Instagram micro app, you would need a chat function within that app. One way of doing it is to build a chat function on your own. The other way is to actually go to the marketplace and find this micro app built by somebody else, by another developer. And that's the preferred way, because that's going to save you time and you can focus more on the Instagram specific features of the micro app rather than on things like a chat or notifications or a search, the things that you would want others to focus on because they might be experts in that. That means that if you're using another micro app, then you're sharing the revenue you get for your micro app with the other developers. So I will explain it more on next slide. So the business model with Mars is this. So Mars has a subscription model where users pay monthly fee to use Mars. And all the micro apps they use are participating in the revenue split. For example, if a user pays $900 a month and there are 10 micro apps used, then roughly speaking, this $900 would be split $90 to each micro app builder. That means that it's similar to a Spotify model where people pay fixed fee and all the content producers, such as singers, etc., they get revenue split. The other way to monetize your micro app is a direct subscription. That means that the users will pay only to your micro app the fee you define. So for example, you define a fee of $500 a month, and then that goes directly to you. And the third version of the pricing is one-time license fee. That means that the user or the client will pay one sum and then get the lifetime access to this micro app. Obviously, they cannot compete with you and they cannot push the micro back to the marketplace to sell, but they can use it for their own purposes, for their own project in unlimited way to the rest of their life. And they might pay for upgrades moving forward. This is particularly important for venture-backed startups because for them it's important to have no vendor lock and to own the code, etc. So these are the hints on the business models and the hints on how the micro apps work. So we encourage you to start building micro apps on Mars platform, start from small, go to medium, and then build something large. Mars 4 is still in closed beta, and we're opening it up slowly and your turn will come if you're in a wait list. If you're not in a wait list, please join, because we're planning to open it up early in January. Thank you for coming to this meetup. So if anyone has more questions about the business model on the micro apps or the micro apps that have to build, we're planning to release certain updates listing the micro apps that are not built yet, that you could probably grab and build if that's interesting. So keep tuned in our Discord channels. We're going to post in the general chat all the updates about this. Be patient. We know that some of you are waiting in a waitlist for quite a while, and your turn will come soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.